What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna watch a video from Rotten Mangoes. I want you guys to like, comment, and subscribe to her channel. Let her know I sent you, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well. Show me some love and help me grow this channel. I would like to do this full time with your help, but enough of that. We're gonna just jump into the video and check it out. I hope you enjoy.
82 days before the murder, there is a break-in. And in the event of a break-in, usually something is going to be stolen from the house. Most times, it's going to be whatever that is within reach and is the most valuable. Nobody is breaking and entering, risking jail time to steal a can opener and the remainder of your laundry detergent. They want electronics, they want cash, they want things that they can resell and make money from. This is a literal cash grab with a side of trespassing. That's what most break-ins are. It's devastating, but at least you know that the motive is very clear. Whoever did this wants money, they're committing atrocious crimes to make money. But what if someone breaks into your house and they take something that is not of monetary value? They don't steal the $1,000 iPad that's in clear view, or the phone, or the car. They steal your journal that you write in every single day. It's not a password book. You don't have some sort of ledger for Bitcoin in there. It's just like your deepest inner thoughts, leather-bound journal that financially would fetch no more than $10 on the market resold. Or what if someone breaks in and you check the entire house up and down, nothing's been taken, nothing. And it's not like they didn't have time. And then you walk by the console under your TV and there's the picture frame, the picture of your entire family that you framed last year during Christmas. The frame is still there, but the photo is gone. They had time to take the photo out of the frame, but they didn't take anything else? No valuables? What are they planning on doing with the picture? Or you go upstairs to try and collect yourself. You're about to shower and in the drawer, your hairbrush is gone. It's missing. Or maybe they take that one magnet that you have on the refrigerator that you bought during your first time going to Yosemite. What the hell are they going to do with that? Or any of these things? These are the things that will keep people up at night. It's not just like the random violation of someone breaking into your home, which is typically the only private place that people can truly feel safe. But it's the fact that you don't know who did it. You don't know why they did it. It's clearly not for money. Then what is it for? Are they going to come back? For the Krug family house in Colorado, it's even more alarming than all of those. Daniel Krug, the father of 3 kids and husband of Christine Krug, calls 911. Daniel's standing at the end of his driveway talking to the officer, and he's explaining, as I pulled in, I saw someone run out, jump over my gate, and take off that way. Like, he walked in on this trespassing, on someone breaking and entering.
I didn't think to call you until my wife got home recently, and we realized the spare key that we keep in the garage isn't there.
If someone breaks into your house and they only take the spare key, the only reason they would do that is to come back later. But to do what? Over the course of the next 82 days, it will be like the person who broke into that house never even left the house. Strange things are gonna start to happen to the Krug family, almost driving them to the point of being completely paranoid. And then finally, one of them is going to be killed in that very house.
Bum, bum, bum. We're just getting started.
We would like to thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support the National Network to End Domestic Violence. They are a nonprofit dedicated to ending relationship, workplace, and stalking violence. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team, and we'd also like to thank you guys for your continued support. As always, full show notes are available at RottenMangoPodcast.com. Today's episode includes mentions of stalking, DV, so viewer discretion is advised, and please take care, take breaks, and with that, let's get into it. When you read a lot of fiction books, there's going to be patterns that you're noticing. And it's not just like the tropes. It could be the 7-point structure, the hero's journey. Save the cat is like a popular one. It's the outline of the story. And oftentimes, I highly doubt authors are even using outlines like this.
Save the cat?
It's like a storyline. A lot of movies and books follow this exact point progress. It's like the progression of a story.
Like third chapter breakup?
Yes, like a third chapter breakup that I always complain about. It's like that. But like third chapter breakup is maybe more so a trope, but this would like fit into the whole from start to finish. There's almost like an outline of ups and downs. And it's very interesting. I think it's because humans are comfort creatures. We enjoy stories with similar journeys, similar endings. The point is, if you read a lot of bad fiction, you notice these frameworks. If you read a lot of good fiction, which most fiction is good, you won't even notice these frameworks because they either don't follow it to a T or they do it so well that it just feels like a brand new story in a brand new world. But ultimately, most books can be boiled down to the 3-act structure, which is how I'm going to boil down this case for you. Not because I think that this is reminiscent of a fictional storyline, but because somebody involved in today's case thought that their plan would play out like the movies. They even mention movies and fiction multiple times. Act 1 is the promise. You get thrown into the world and you don't really know what's going on. And the Krug family house sits in the middle of a residential neighborhood where all the neighbors are closely stationed nearby. Their houses are very close in proximity. The streets are smaller, the sidewalks are well maintained. People like to walk their pets outside. It's the neighborhood that a lot of the houses decorate for Christmas, and at night you have to close your blinds, otherwise the red and green, not so jolly anymore. They're gonna drive you crazy when you're trying to sleep, but not December of 2023. Something happens in the neighborhood. As the Christmas lights are going off, police are stationed behind "Do Not Cross" yellow tape. It's been like that for a while. Eventually, a neighbor stops the car in front of an officer and asks, "Are we safe?"
We live in the neighborhood. Are we safe?
Neighbors are asking, "Are we safe?" I mean, it's a good question, considering in one of the houses that looks just like the others on the outside, it's like a regular, nice family suburban home, there is one family that is preparing for something. That's what it feels like. They have a whole gun safe filled with weapons, and there's schedules to go learn and how to use these guns. They have family codes. These are not just shared between parents, but with the children. Orange means caution, near normal operations. Red, high alert, limit visitations.
Like they're talking to each other. Today is code orange, or right now it's code red.
Yeah, or like certain activities are orange, red, nuclear, and they wrote it down.
Okay.
Nuclear means lockdown, separate locations, active threat. I think it is a pretty good idea to teach kids about active threats and what to do in case of emergencies, but the level at which this particular family is preparing, it seems like there is an imminent threat that they know about, not just like a potential what if. The whole family has to know, and they have all these thorough, well thought out plans on how to keep everyone safe. On a separate piece of paper, it reads, needs gun training, add walking lights, add fence lights, add outdoor cameras, add front door security, protection orders in place, trim landscaping for visibility, add extra security system, replace sliding glass door with regular doors. What are they preparing for? And do the neighbors know? Like, are they all preparing for the same thing? Why are all the neighbors scared too? December 14th, there is a wellness check being done at the Krug house. The officer goes to the front door to knock, and there's someone there, just standing in front of the front door. A woman in a big puffer jacket.
Outside or inside?
Outside. And she looks a little startled. Oh, I'm their neighbor, and they called me. They're like, can you go see if she'll answer the door? So a neighbor was asked to check up on the residents of this house too. And she's like, you got it from here. She walks off. The officer starts knocking on the door. Nobody responds. He peers inside the window. I mean, the rest of the house and the property, it seems completely normal.
Is there police cam footage of these?
Yes.
Okay.
According to his official report later, he's looking through the front door window. Nothing is amiss. There's no coffee table that's been overturned, no broken glass. There's nothing. According to his official report later, quote, everything looked orderly, quiet. I gave the door a loud knock. He says that he thought whoever he's checking in on probably isn't even home right now, and he's about to drive off in the patrol car when he decides, I'm just gonna see if there's a car inside the garage to be extra thorough. The Krug family garage has those windows at the very top of the garage that let sunlight in, but they're so high up that you can't even really tippy-toe and see into them. So the officer walks back down to his car, and just when it seems like he's about to drive off, he drives his car right up to the garage, climbs on top of his car so that he can get up to a height to peer through the garage windows, and as he's balancing and peering through the window, he's shining a flashlight through, And according to the officer's police report, he says he very quickly sees a woman lying on the garage floor, and she is very clearly not moving.
I got a female down.
He says he quickly gathers the woman is very close to the steps that lead into the house. So she's not close to the garage door that slides up and down. She's close to the door that goes into the house. She has a winter coat on, the hood is pulled over her head, but her face is showing, so she's lying on her back, and she's really, really still. He immediately radios in 151, send medical, and 110, I need a forced entry. I got a female down in the garage. He runs to the front, kicks open the front door, books it to the garage. He's not even clearing the house. He doesn't know if somebody else is in the house. The first words to come out of his mouth when he opens that garage door is, holy shit, shit, holy shit. And it sounds like he's trying to calm himself down from the panic.
Oh, shit.
Dead.
Holy
She's super dead.
According to the report, I noted a significant amount of blood, which appeared to be fresh, noted by the bright red color. The blood is running down the wall, and the woman's head is about 2 feet away from the wall.
Whoa.
So there seems to be some sort of blood splatter or a traumatic event enough that blood would end up on the wall. There's more blood underneath her head. According to the report, he says he very quickly sees that she's clearly not moving, and he gathers, okay, so she's close to the steps, and there's blood on the wall, there's blood on her. It seems like she probably might not be alive. This is a life-threatening, fatal amount of blood. He's calling for backup, he's calling for paramedics, he's administering CPR, and he's trying to gather as much information as possible. Initially, he realizes that there's trauma near her right temple, but because of all of the victim's hair, he can't make out what is causing the bleeding. He just knows that she's bleeding. It could have been a fall. Her neck is kind of slanted to the left. It could indicate a broken neck. It also could have been from a small caliber weapon, but he can't be sure. So if it was like not a small caliber weapon, it probably would have left a certain type of fragmentation to the head that he would have been able to quickly identify. So he's so unclear about what even caused this. All he knows is he's not picking up a pulse. He opens the big garage door that leads out into the driveway because he just got radioed in that paramedics are about to pull up. So he wants them to have direct access into the garage because every second is life or death. He opens the big garage doors, and instead of uniformed officers or medics, there's an older woman softly walking towards the opening of the door, and she catches him performing CPR. She catches a glimpse of someone laying on the garage floor covered in blood, and his report reads, "It appeared to me the woman was either a neighbor or a relative. She was visibly upset, clearly seeing me perform CPR. I quickly asked the woman to stay away from the garage, knowing other officers were coming into the area. I requested via radio that they contact this woman and escort her from the garage."
Hello, ma'am. I need you to stay out, please.
Okay, sir.
Next to you today, interrupt this apparent relative that's on scene, please.
It seems like she's freaking out. There's multiple angles of this, of the older woman walking up to the garage, but it seems like she takes a step back and then she wants to go forward, but then probably her logic is like, no, let the police officer do the medical help. You're not going to be helpful. So then she eventually walks down away from the garage door down the driveway.
How old is this woman?
I would say maybe 60s, 70s.
Oh, wow.
I mean, this is a family member who just walked in at the precise time that her loved one is on the floor, on the garage floor, covered in blood, and an officer is performing CPR.
Does she see exactly who's down there?
Yeah. And it's not an accident, and it's not a coincidence. All of this was planned. Even her showing up at that exact moment was planned by somebody else. She's escorted away from the garage, and all the backup officers arrive at the scene. Paramedics rush in, and they realize it's not a head wound that they're working with. I mean, she does have a head wound, but that's not the only thing. Under her thick winter coat, there's one mark, and she has been stabbed near the heart. Who would want someone in the Krug family dead? And does this have anything to do with the break-in that happened 82 days ago? Act 2 of a fictional story usually is the confrontation. It's the structured escalation. It's kind of the why. Why are we even talking about any of this? 35 days before the murder, there is a text message sent to Christelle Krug. Saw you Christelle is the mother of 3 and the wife of Daniel Krug. So 82 days before the murder, Daniel Krug calls the police and is like, hey, I just saw some guy break into our house and I talked to my wife and we realized the only thing stolen was our spare key.
I saw someone, I think it was a guy, but it was so fast.
Yeah.
Blue jeans, gray shirt, run out, jump over my gate,
Okay.
and take off that way. Everything seems to be there
Okay.
except a spare key.
The house key. Okay.
35 days before the murder, so this is after the break-in, Christelle Krug gets a text message. Saw you at dentist. I like clean teeth for my COCK. You got me so horny and slutty in my car, so I nutted on yours. See you soon.
What?
Christelle is like the dentist. How would anybody know that she's at the dentist? Christelle checks her car for a tracker or anything else, and there's nothing. I mean, she hasn't posted on social media. She's barely online these days. She values privacy over everything else since the stalking started. She took down all her personal photos, family photos. How would they even know that she's at the dentist?
This is a stalker.
Yeah.
And this is not the first message?
No. She's been getting messages all month long.
He said he nutted on hers?
Yes, on her car.
On her
but
car.
this is the first time the stalker is like,
Ew,
I
that's
saw
gross.
you at the dentist at this time. And she knows there's no way. It's not even just a message of like, you know, the stalker was saying all things like, I'm going to kidnap you. You should leave your husband for me. But now it's very specific. I saw you at the dentist.
Was she?
Yeah. And the dentist plaza has like a ton of other businesses in the same plaza. So if someone even just tracked her phone, it would be unclear which business or establishment she's visiting. How would they know specifically she went to the dentist that day unless they're tracking her car or they're watching her in person? Then another message. He doesn't deserve you. You know it. He doesn't satisfy you. That's why you keep all your fuckboys on the side. You're a dirty slut and I know how to satisfy you. Admit that no one satisfied you since me. I see you flirting with waiters, almost begging for sex, licking your lips, and you got your boobs out. Don't know how many fucking boys you kept, but I'll save you. I know he's keeping us apart. You don't belong in that big house. You belong with me. I'll get
Psycho.
rid of him and then we can be
Psycho.
together. So easy. The stalker sends another
Deranged
message. They have
psycho.
random security. They let me park and walk right into his building. Been there for weeks. Give me the signal and he won't come home. Every married bitch I ever banged wanted to get rid of their husbands. I'll do it for us. Help me get rid of him and then we can be together, just like you want. I'm planning a big birthday party for you. Just you, me, and 20 friends. I know you're a dirty slut and I'll treat you right. You can be slutty with me and I'll take you. You don't want the fake married life. You want to be dirty and I will save you.
So these are all sent
What a
like separate times?
madman.
Yeah. Halloween is probably the scariest message to date. It's a picture of Christelle's husband, Daniel, while he's leaving work. This your husband? Drives like slow old lady. Can't believe you want to suck his dick, but not mine. He needs to drive
Oh my
safe. Don't want to
God.
clear rubber hose in his tailpipe, does he?
What exactly is the photo like?
It's of Daniel getting out of his car going into the work.
Dude's crazy.
How far is it? Very close by?
Really close. It's like if someone were to park nose in and then I were to drive right by and take a picture out my window. It's not from 5 parking spaces away. It's like if you're at a Trader Joe's and you're driving by one of the parked cars and you just stick your hand towards the passenger seat and take a photo.
What was like the first message though that she received? Are you gonna go over that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, whoever the stalker is, they're now following the entire family. But how? It's like they have eyes and ears everywhere. How do you follow an entire 5-person family? 4 days later, a picture of a man's private parts come in with the question, what do you think? It's only escalating. And this all started October 2nd, 2023. So the break-in happens earlier than this, but the first message, the very first message comes in October 2nd, 2023. Christelle gets this. It's, hi, Christelle. It's Anthony. Hope it's okay I looked you up. I go to Boulder, Colorado, every few weeks, and I thought we could hook up. Christelle doesn't respond, mainly because it's like a really odd message from an old friend of hers. It's her old high school boyfriend. Christelle is now married. She has 3 kids. One of them, I think, is in high school now.
Like
Who's
20
thinking
years
about
ago.
who's thinking about their high school boyfriend from decades ago? It's not like they have the same circle of friends either. He knows she married a guy named Krug and they have 3 kids together. Why would she even meet up with him? They haven't even spoken in so long. But the next day, another message. Are you there? You should say yes when I offer a pity fuck. Whatever. Saw your pictures, you got fat, but your loser husband won't fuck your fat. Just, you should kill yourself.
That just second day?
Yeah. But it's not just text messages. Emails are coming in.
Dude's
Your license plate
unhinged, bro.
expired. Gotta fix that. She checks her license plate is expired. You and your husband down to Eiffel Tower? Then the dentist messages, and Christelle starts feeling rightfully paranoid. But there's also nothing that indicates that somebody is following her. I mean, she's been tracking what cars have been on the street outside her house. All normal cars that always pass by, nothing abnormal. I would imagine that there's more than one exit out of the neighborhood, so if Christelle switches it up each time, then how would he even follow her out? Christelle calls an officer to the house to check out her car. There's nothing. There's no tracker. There's nothing. But they can't even do anything. Even though every day there's a new message, if it's not from the stalker, it's from somebody else. Like a text message from someone else, seemingly unrelated. Hi, saw your post on Ion Canto. Are you still looking for some men to join you? So I guess it's like a
group text.
Yeah. Christelle responds, can you tell me which ad this was for? About you wanting a train? I believe someone may have taken out an ad with my number. Could you share the link or the title of the ad, please? No response.
Wow.
The entire Krug family has this heightened sense of anxiety about all of this. I mean, the pictures, the stalking, the threats, it's just starting to become overwhelming. They try to track down the number sending the messages. It only leads them to other dead ends, and the stalker keeps switching numbers. Sometimes the messages would have thinly laced threats of kidnapping Christelle, killing Daniel. This seemingly very normal suburban family, the Krugs, they start changing their entire lifestyles. They have lockdown protocols in the house. They're installing cameras outside around the house. Christelle is getting a concealed carry license. She's learning how to shoot guns. Daniel, the husband, he's freaking out. Daniel's kind of a geeky guy. He's the type at work where if he has his work credentials on a tag that he clips onto a backpack, he will do these elaborate swirls in front of like the key readers, the key card readers, to hit his backpack on it rather than get like a retractable lanyard of some sort. And this is not like me trying to give you an analogy of his personality. I literally saw him do this. So it's like, that's what he does. That's the type of kind of geeky energy that he has.
What does he do?
He works for the Department of Public Health for accounting.
He's an accountant?
Yeah. Yeah, for the government. During an interview with the police, because Christelle and Daniel have talked to the police frequently about this stalker.
And what does she do?
She is a bioengineer, but I believe that she is a full-time mom at this point.
Nerd.
She was focused on engineering. Everyone that has spoken about Christelle says she was just like whip smart. So smart. Yeah. And like even the way that, because we FOIA had requested this case, the way that she was able to log each of the stalker's messages, I mean, she was methodical about it. She did not play games. She would have these ways of calming herself down. Even when she talks to Detective Martinez, which is the guy, the officer that's helping her with catching the stalker, she even tells him, like, she has folders. She's presenting all the evidence to him. And she's telling him, I know the whole point is to freak me out. So I'm trying to keep that in mind.
So she's like logging all of these. So the police saying there's nothing they could do about this?
The police have put out warrants for these cell phone companies to get extra data. But these cell phone companies, they're very sensitive about giving out any sort of information until it's too late.
Is it like a known caller or is it a fake number?
Yeah, it's like text now numbers where you can generate like a Google number.
Right.
And then if you give a warrant to Google, they're going to stall until maybe somebody's dead. Then you can get an expedited warrant to catch a killer. But at that point, it's kind of too late.
Yeah.
During an interview with the police, you know, Daniel is just saying like,
I went to the grocery store briefly on Tuesday, and someone behind me dropped a can, and I panicked. So what am I doing? I'm panicking, and I'm doing a shitty job of protecting my wife.
it just seems like this whole family is falling apart because of this stalker. Christelle, on the other hand, she's not putting up with this. She's ready to go to war for her safety, as she should. She gets the meeting with Martinez. Martinez even says she came into the interview room and just kind of took over and just told me everything. Like, this is what's happening. She's bringing out papers, files, documents. She got a full-blown report from the PI.
The first message saying this is from Anthony, right?
Yeah.
That's the first person of interest. And
yes. And she got a PI to track all of his addresses, all of his associated phone numbers, but they keep moving from different parts of the state. She's handing this all to the police, all of this. And she's like, this is my ex-boyfriend from high school. This is his name. I think this is his current address. Officer Martinez opted not to go talk to Anthony because his problem was there's not enough to arrest him. So if they go and talk to him without arresting him, that could set him off.
Okay. What
So
else?
they need to gather more information. They need to wait for these phone companies to come in with the data to have enough evidence to arrest him. So Officer Martinez is like, I mean, I could go talk to him, but if I don't have that evidence, I can't arrest him. So we don't know what he's going to do after we stop talking to him.
Because that they only have a message saying that's his name, but there's not evidence linking it
Yes.
to his number.
Yeah. So they have a message saying, hi, it's Anthony, and then all these crazy messages. And then a PI who separately finds Anthony's home address. There's no evidence to say that that is Anthony. Anyone could send a message and say, hey, it's Stephanie Sue, but like you have no evidence that it's Stephanie Sue, right? So he's like, I could go talk to him, but if it is Anthony, that could set him off.
Right.
Like he could go crazy after that. And I don't know if that's a good risk. Do I agree with that kind of sentiment? I don't know, but that's how the laws are. So I would say blame the laws more than Officer Martinez. I don't know. Maybe I'm too personally invested. There's a lot of body cam footage, and there's a lot of footage of people, family members, rightfully initially being upset with Officer Martinez, but later, all of Christiel's family have come out, and it seems like Officer Martinez took it very hard. So we'll get into it, but because the way the laws are set up, it's not like Martinez doesn't want to go and talk to him. It's not like he's being lazy. It's more so, I can't even arrest the guy.
And I keep trying to remind myself, this is intending to be terrorizing. This is intending to scare me. So, like, okay, take a deep breath. Take it back. Yeah.
Christiel tells her family members, it's either going to be me or him that's dead. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure it's not me. If this were a fictional story, which it's not, and again, the only reason we're comparing it to one is because there's somebody in this case that thinks that this is going to play out just like the movies, is going to be this theatrical, beautiful, cinematic ending, and it's not. But Act 3 is the resolution. It's typically where everything collides together, the clues start clicking into place, the story's central question is answered, usually who did it and why. At the Krug house, backup officers, paramedics have all arrived, but it is too late for Christiel Krug. She's dead. She's been killed. Someone stabbed her in the heart in her own garage.
Shit.
One by one, all the family members are arriving to the house. Christiel's mother was the one that saw when the garage first opened.
That was her own mom outside?
Yeah, that was Christiel's mother, and she is now being comforted on the street by the neighbor in the puffer coat. Nobody knows if Christiel is dead yet. The officers don't want to tell the family members until everybody's gathered. Christiel's dad, Lars, arrives. Christiel's brother, Lars Jr., arrives. Her sister-in-law, Kate, arrives. The last person that they need to wait for is Christiel's husband, Daniel. Thankfully, all the kids are in school. The police don't want to tell anyone until they're all gathered. Daniel's the last to arrive, and he parks further away because there's cop cars all surrounding the house. He runs up to the cops. They're telling him, back up. Under no circumstances are you going into that garage right now.
My house. Hey, stay back, stay back, stay back, stay back. This is my house. I understand.
He freaks out. They tell him family's on the side. He books it to the family. Nobody's giving him information. Finally, an officer walks over and lets them know that she's gone. Daniel's on the ground, he's on his knees, he's sobbing. Even Christiel's mom is comforting him because there's just a lot of guilt coming in. Daniel is hyperventilating, saying things like, I didn't protect her, I was supposed to protect her.
I was supposed to protect her.
Christiel's autopsy states that she was attacked from behind with a blunt object, bludgeoned in the head, rolled over before being stabbed in the heart. All everyone knows is, unless the police catch this guy, Daniel Krug is probably next. And if this were a fictional story, if this played out like the movies, this is where the resolution would come in. They would all find the guy, Anthony, the guy that's texting and stalking Christiel. They would arrest him and all the questions would get answered. Anthony's a bad guy. He'll get what's coming to him. The story isn't happy at the end because how is it going to be happy? But you get to see Anthony rot in jail. But this is not like the movies or the books. I mean, this is real life. It never happens that way. Through the body cam footage of the officers at the Krug's house, there's this one part where all the officers are pulled to the side, away from the family members, away from the neighbors, and one of the officers tells the others,
Yeah, I don't know the backstory. Husband said there was a dude who's been stalking her and threatened to kidnap her.
Where's this
And
dude
Martinez
from?
was involved, and Martinez just said, hey, this is a
Gym
big
or
old...
something?
I don't know, dude. I don't know the history on that part. Martinez does, though, and he said he's coming in. So, like I told him, you can see if Butler needs photos with this big old house. Other than that, we're just kind of securing the scene and waiting for detectives, you know?
they all point to the blue piece of tape. So over the Google Nest camera on the front door, there's a blue piece of tape covering the camera.
It's like a Ring camera, right?
Yeah, and they just covered someone came and covered it with blue tape. And the cop is like, did you do that? The guy's like, no. So they're like, that's interesting. It's really interesting. The officer that first arrived at the scene, obviously adrenaline was rushing once he saw a woman down in the garage, but he said that when he kicked the front door, he didn't feel a lot of resistance. He doesn't think that it was dead bolted. Like maybe there was a lock, like the bottom lock, but it wasn't dead bolted. Maybe just the handle was locked. But the most interesting conversation the police have, away from the ears of family members and neighbors, is that this is still an active investigation. We're going to treat every single person here as a potential suspect. That night at the police station, Daniel, Christiel's husband, is about to leave after answering questions, along with the rest of Christiel's family. So they're all coming in for interviews. And he turns, and before he leaves the police station, he stops in the police lobby, and he's talking to one of the officers, and he says,
He took my children's mother for Christmas. They're never gonna get over that. I don't care if you capture them. I don't care if you kill them. Find them. Don't just assume it's me. Keep looking.
what do you...
Don't just assume it's me.
Yeah, what do you mean, assume it's me? Daniel is Christiel's husband. Daniel says so himself. I've seen the movies. It's always the husband, isn't it? But you need to find him. Inside the Krug house near one of the action plans, in case the stalking escalates, there's a tiny little post-it sticking to a bookshelf, and it reads, "Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process he does not become a monster. If you stare long enough into the abyss will gaze back into you." Nietzsche.
Handwritten?
Handwritten. What does any of this mean? Informing the adults of the Krug family of Christiel's murder is one thing. To inform her 3 kids is a totally different situation. And this happens to be one of the... Okay, like I could... Sometimes words are very bland. I feel like the words heartbreaking, gut-wrenching, horrendous, heinous, they're all pretty empty at this point. I think it's just so shitty. I believe it's the eldest daughter. She's in high school, and she already knows that something is wrong before police and family members come to pull her out of school. She's in the guidance counselor's office when the first officer shows up, and she's explaining like she saw a lot happen through her phone because this family has been stalked. They likely all have access to the phone cameras, and she's like in high school, so definitely she does, and they're probably all alert, watching for any suspicious activity, and she's crying, and she says,
"My phone notified me of my house cameras going off. There was police at my house."
There was police at the house and an ambulance, and there was a stretcher. I couldn't bring myself to see who was on the stretcher, so I called mom and dad. My dad picked up, and he's crying, and he like wouldn't tell me what's going on. He told me to shut off my phone, and my aunt is coming here to pick me up. So the officer is trying to gather intel, because the officer knows everything that's happened too.
What has been going on at home?
So this dude has been threatening my mom, stalking her, taking photos of my dad, saying that he's gonna kill him. Do we know who this person is? One of her exes, I don't know his name. Like an ex-boyfriend? Yeah. And they broke up a while ago. They ended it as friends, so this has all come as like a really big shock to my mom. But she mentions to the police officer, he's been contacting her from different numbers, sending pictures of my dad, saying that he's gonna kill him. He hasn't mentioned anything about me and my siblings yet, which is good. He posted something to a website trying to recruit guys to help him with whatever plan he's going, and he's been contacting my mom through all of this. And so my mom has contacted the police, and she has like a whole bunch of people on this case, but the thing is, he's making it sound like she's helping him and she's not. So we're really afraid that the police are gonna turn on us. So she's been trying to protect herself, so she has a gun, and she's in the process of getting her concealed carry license so that she can protect herself and us. And then yeah, when I saw the camera, I assumed that she would have to use that gun. She tells the officers that my parents don't have the best relationship. It's not violent whatsoever. They just haven't been getting along. They won't get a divorce. They say it's for the children, it's best for us, but at least I know their marriage isn't doing the best. Like, it's never bad enough for her to pair up with this guy. So she's explaining the stalker is making it seem like Christiel and the stalker are gonna kill Daniel so that they can run off together. And this little girl, like the daughter, is like, that's not, like, I'm telling you, like, my mom would never do that, please.
Right. So she is kind of thinking that the mom was self-defensing her, like,
yeah, and maybe killed the stalker.
Whoa.
Throughout this, she's breaking down, and because in the FOIA request, it's all blurred, thankfully, but you actually see the moment when the kids are told. I'm not going to include it. It's But I think it's important to know it's like a very heavy moment because all of this the importance of that comes full circle later. There's almost this speculation, from the daughter at least, that the stalker was trying to kill the dad and make it seem like the mom was part of it, trying to frame the mom. Whoever's out there stalking Chris Steele, it is not their first time. It's not their first time creating multiple identities and creating multiple phone numbers and changing their locations just so they could stalk a woman. And there is a lot of potentials to debate here. The messages showed that the stalker would have an idea of what their end result was going to be and then completely change their mind and then think about something else. At first, they want to kidnap Chris Steele and likely hold her captive. There are messages of kidnapping her and then the stalker believing that Chris Steele would finally be happy with him. Or if that's too hard, they could just kill Chris Steele. Maybe that's the better plan. Or how about they kill Daniel, Chris Steele's husband, and frame Chris Steele for it? That way Chris Steele won't have anyone. She'll have to come to him, her stalker, right? A nationwide arrest warrant is put out for Anthony, the ex-boyfriend, the stalker. And while they're looking for him, a woman named Carrie is brought into the police station. She explains the same exact thing happened to her during her breakup. I mean, this was a long time ago. So this was when she was in college. So like 15 years ago. And she says, I broke up with him a couple months into my freshman year and he was pretty emotional. I would say sort of desperation would maybe be the word I would use to describe him after the breakup. Of just kind of like, please don't do this, kind of crying, that sort of thing that I can recall. And then I started to get messages from his roommate. That person's name is Tom. And she starts getting these messages and quote, and I know Tom is real because they're roommates. If I called him, sometimes Tom would pick up the phone and they had like a joint phone and a joint room. She says that Tom would message her talking about how her ex wasn't doing well because of the breakup and maybe was gonna be injured. But then turns out Tom isn't Tom. I mean, Tom is real, but Carrie says Tom's messages were being sent by her ex-boyfriend to try and push her closer to her ex again. They're not from the real Tom. They're not from the real roommate. The stalker also created other identities to try and separate her and isolate her from her friends. It kind of ruined her entire college life. Ultimately, all the leads led back to a public library. Even though she and one of the officers that she was working with, I mean, they knew who it was the ex-boyfriend, they just didn't have enough evidence to get him. And so the police were like, okay, and your ex-boyfriend is Daniel Krug.
Damn.
Like, what an idiot I feel like I was after all of this. Because, like you said, you can read through all this and go, well, duh, it's Dan, but when you're in it, you just become so, like, almost crazed by it. You don't know who it is or...
So this lady, Carrie, right? She showed up by herself or was she...
Police brought her in Daniel's sealed records. There was an incident between her and him in college. And the police are like, what are the odds that Chris Steele was being stalked and Daniel has an ex-girlfriend from college that was stalked by Daniel?
Oh, she was stalked.
Yeah.
She wasn't just...
No. She got these threatening messages, weird messages from all sorts of people that were not the people they claimed to be.
From decades ago. That's...
Yeah.
Wow. Now, the police... Did they suspect him from the get-go or was it, well, how did they even go down that path?
They suspected him the minute that he came into the police station because it's like the movies.
Okay.
Have you ever waited for an item that you thought you bought online, but then it never comes? Every time a package was delivered, I would rip it open to Law 529 from your phone. This is a paid advertisement. A lot of people will tell you that the smartest murder is the one that you have never heard of yet, because that's the whole point. It goes undetected. But a lot of people have been calling this case the smartest, most calculated murder in recent history. The months of planning, creating fake identities, using fake phone numbers, IP addresses, buying multiple gift cards, and it all falls apart with the acting. It's like a B-grade movie. It's like the type of dialogue that you really only read in a book. Daniel Krug thinks that the police are onto him. He thinks that they're just trying to look at him as the suspect. I mean, yeah, they're still trying to find Anthony, the ex-boyfriend, but they've also just spent hours interviewing Daniel after Christile's body was found. Hours. All the other family members were let out early. Why is Daniel the only one staying behind? They're asking him in-depth questions that can only point to them being suspicious of him, and when they finally let him go at the end of the night, Daniel's about to leave the police station, and he turns to the officers and he says,
I want to decide who did this. Because I don't. You don't believe that? Fine. Just don't stop looking elsewhere. Focus on me. Okay? I'm the f***er who did this. Are you married? You have kids? Divorced? Right behind you. I don't care if you capture him. I just want the f***er to pay. He took my children's mother for Christmas. They're never gonna get over that.
and with that, he walks out of the police station. It's like straight out of a James Patterson novel. Nobody talks like that in person. Nobody whispers like that in person. It's very odd. I also think that we as people recently have given too much grace to the phrase everyone responds to grief differently. It's true. I think it's very true. But some things, if they are sending your radars off, if your gut is saying, okay, this is so bizarre, it's not even just like, oh, I probably wouldn't behave like that if I were grieving, but like, wow, I'm so shocked and thrown off by this. I don't think that we should all just chalk it up to, well, everyone responds to grief differently. The police have a theory now. The way that Daniel has been talking, the things that family members have told them, they believe that Christile wanted to divorce Daniel, and Daniel decides he's going to pretend to be a stalker to drive his wife straight back into his arms. This will be the catalyst that brings them closer together. This is what they need to reconnect.
These are theories from the families?
The police, gathering from all the interviews that they had with family members. December 5th, 2023, Christile gets an email. Hey, gorgeous. I can't visit you anymore. No more Colorado time. My girlfriend doesn't want us talking without her. She says you're gonna let cops get after me, after you off him. But she doesn't know you like I do. We got a new place with lots of room on the East Coast. She said you can move in with us. We like 3 ways. Trash your husband and come. You know how to get me when he's dead. I mean, it's kind of a nonsensical email, but ultimately, it kind of seems like the stalker is gonna lay off. He's saying, like, I'm moving to the East Coast. I don't have time to go to Colorado. I mean, this is what Christile thought. But 9 days later, Christile is dead. And that's what the police can't wrap their heads around. If Daniel is the stalker, let's say hypothetically he is, why would he send this message saying, hey, I'm not going to come to Colorado anymore? And then why would he kill her at the end? Because they thought maybe Daniel's sending these messages to get his wife closer to him. So if Daniel's the stalker, why would he say like, hey, I'm the stalker, I'm going to lay off? Because that would indicate the relationship is going well then. Maybe Daniel's like, oh, she's already so close to me now. I don't need to keep stalking her. We've like fixed our problems. In the FOIA request, we got a ton of videos where Daniel is sitting in front of a white cinder block wall and he's got a phone up to his ear and he's staring at the screen with his parents on there.
Have you ever gotten like jailhouse calls with the families?
Calls, like sometimes audios. You'll get random audios, but really they don't like to give these out.
How many hours of that did you get?
I think overall we had hundreds of videos because there were a lot of officers at the scene of the crime and every single thing was body cammed. I mean, there's a lot of body cam video that ultimately we would sit through and then it would be like a 1-minute conversation at the end between an officer and a neighbor and the officer is just like, drive around. This is taped off, drive around. I think it was like 100 jail call videos.
Dang, okay.
It was a lot. And a lot of them is like just yapping. A lot of them is weird. And Daniel is sitting in jail. He's about to go on trial for murdering his wife. And he's telling his family, I didn't do this. The stalker is still out there and they put the wrong guy in jail because they think it's like the movies and it's always the husband and it's not me and my kids are not safe. He's ranting. He's worried about his kids. He's adamant that someone else killed Christile. And just like how her stalker wanted to set her up for his potential murder, he believes that the stalker set him up for her murder. And nobody's listening to him. So now Christile is gone. He's sitting in jail for something he says he didn't do, but nobody's listening and his 3 kids are are out there, and he's pleading with his elderly parents, I need them safe.
I don't know where or who did this, where he is, or who he is. I need my children out of Colorado.
He's also concerned about Stockholm Syndrome. The kids are staying with family members on Christiel's side of the family, and he says,
But now we're back to my original fear of Stockholm Syndrome. I do not know what she has been told. I do not know what she believes. I do not know if my children even want me anymore.
Did he say Stockholm Syndrome or
yeah.
like in what context?
Like they're gonna get Stockholm Syndrome with Christiel's side of the family and just believe whatever they're saying. And Christiel's side of the family thinks that he's the stalker, and he's like, no one believes me that I'm being set up. He's like, I'm probably sleeping like 16 hours a day because of the depression. I sleep, I read, I cry, and that's about it. And there's obviously frustration too. He says,
I don't understand how you can put in a claim for wrongful arrest, wrongful imprisonment if you have to wait for everything to be settled.
So he's like, I can't even file a claim for wrongful arrest until after the trial.
We are in a digital and monitored age. They never produced a single photograph of me with phones. They never produced a single photograph of me buying anything. They never produced a single piece of hard evidence. Just identity theft. That's it. That's it. And we're in a world today where that's enough. DNA exoneration doesn't mean shit. Because someone can do things with a cell phone. Not a single photograph, not a single drop of blood, not a single scrap of DNA, not a single recording. Identity theft is all it takes to destroy somebody.
So he's claiming someone stole his identity to do this.
Daniel's parents are completely supporting him and they agree with him, but they're also concerned about him sitting in jail. He says about the food that he eats a lot of ramen because, quote, if you ever find yourself watching TV and you see a cat food commercial, we look at those commercials here with a sense of longing. The collective decision here is that food commercials should be banned in jails and prisons because even horrible food, I would never eat Taco Bell, ever. It's disgusting. And yet I see ads for it and I'm like, that looks really good. It's clear the pressure is getting to Daniel, though. On the phone with his parents, Daniel gets emotionally charged because he's in jail and he doesn't know where his collection of valuable coins and medals are. Apparently, Daniel's mom spoke with Christiel's family about it and they didn't know it either, where it went, and Daniel explodes.
So that tells me that they are going through the house, and they're not supposed to. They were supposed to give a written list. No. You call, you text, whatever. They are not to have unrestricted access to whatever the fuck they want. And just no. But what that tells me is they're sifting through everything, and they're looking for whatever is of value, because fuck you, Dan, because they don't want me in that life. And I'm not there.
Okay, honey. Okay.
They don't get to treat me like this.
No,
That's all I do. That's all I do. I'm the one who has to accommodate everything. They want to sell the house? Fine. I have to sell the house. They don't want to let me speak to my kids? Fine. I'm not allowed to speak to my kids. I get fucking nothing.
I'm so sorry. I didn't want to hurt
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Sorry. I don't mean to make you cry.
I just wanted to hear my reason.
Wow, this guy.
And mom is like, I wish I could make it all go away, Danny.
Wait, this is so weird.
Yeah.
Is this giving like a movie? Does he talk like a toddler or what's?
He talks so weird. There's only like one person I can think of that talks like that. In a time, kind of like, huh? It doesn't even make sense why you're being so theatrical. Like, grief is one thing. Theatrical is kind of weird right now. Like, it's
so he's like angry, but in a very theatrical way.
Yeah, it's
like that.
Yeah, it's like no.
Interesting.
And he takes a lot of pauses at really weird moments. I mean, I talk pretty dramatic, and I think that I might be even more dramatic when my emotions are high. But the way he does it is not like a sense of dramatic franticness of like, I'm freaking out, so I'm gonna freak out. It's like very like pauses and almost like there's an audience.
Maybe like he's trying to hold it back
But it doesn't feel
because
like
he
that
can't
either.
scream in there. Maybe he can't throw a tantrum in there, so he's like holding it down to.
But that's alarming
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Okay.
How are the kids? Daniel's asking. They were fine. They look good. They're keeping busy. But he just keeps getting angry at the thought because he comes back to it again where he thinks Christiel's family members are taking things of value from the house, and he says,
And I want a complete list of absolutely everything, because if I find out they're parsing out things among different family members, I'm going to be pissed.
Okay.
I want people arrested for stealing things from my wife's estate.
his mom assures him that she took the jewelry box in his closet with his cufflinks. And Daniel asks his mom, did you find Grandma's ring? No.
And they stole it.
Danny, please.
It was with my cufflinks. And then I have to find out what pawn shop they're getting rid of all of my shit.
That's so weird. What's going on? You have a lot more things to worry about right now.
Listen, okay, so
What, does he believe he's getting out tomorrow?
Yeah, and okay, all of these, like when you FOIA requested, they just put like jail call. Oh, no, it wasn't even like jail call. It was like public release, and there's like a bunch of numbers because that's how they, log it in their format. And so every time I'd click one, I have no idea what I'm getting into. Sometimes it'd be like his mom being like, oh yeah, so the weather today, and we drove, and like we made a snowman. And then the next one, he's like, they fucking stole it. And I'm like, every single one was so vastly different from the next one. Like you could have no idea what was going to happen in the next jail call. And then sometimes he's so composed and he's like, don't worry, guys, we have to be strong. And he's making jokes about Taco Bell. His mom keeps reassuring him, they're not taking your stuff. They're not taking your stuff. I wouldn't be too surprised if the police are listening to this call, if they stole my fucking ring, just like they stole my credit card information.
The police?
That's what he claims.
Okay.
As the murder trial is nearing, it's Daniel's brother who decides to tell him the truth. Daniel's brother is in a lot of these calls, and he tells him support is dwindling. Okay?
From the families?
Yeah.
Mom and Dad want to believe you very much. I want to believe you very much. We wish, we hope. And also, now there's not evidence that's been hidden, right? There's a lot that's come out. And as imaginative as I can be with finding explanations and ways to theorize how that, this or that could have been the reality, some of it is beyond even my creativity.
Daniel doesn't really respond. And again later, on a private call just between Daniel and his brother, and now us and everyone else with a penchant for FOIA requesting cases, Daniel's brother tells him,
I want to believe in you. And at the same time, I will be totally honest. I, from the beginning, have not really ever cared one way or the other. I do not want to see you where you are. I do not want to see you where you're going, regardless of the situation and how it arrived. I don't want you there, and don't really care about guilt or culpability or anything like that.
so he's basically saying, like, you're my brother through and through, and that's how I've been since day one. However,
The situation got to where it got to. My concern now is your support is dwindling fast. The forensic stuff, the digital data is really tough for everybody to wrap their head around. Like I said, even I have to go through some fancy gymnastics to counter everything. It needs some story around where phones came from, where gift cards came from, whatever, whatever that may be. You don't have to tell me anything here. I realize that you can't say things on this line, so that's going to be how that is. But I figured I would tell you that. I'm not sure if you're going to get to talk to Mom and Dad again before they move you down into the purgatory spot, and then you're going to be there for a month. My main concern right now is Mom and Dad are on the brink of financial ruin and bankruptcy. They took out probably about 120 to 150K to pay legal fees, and none of that has been repaid to them.
Daniel's brother keeps telling him, and the brother is like, you keep complaining and being emotional about things with the parents, and the parents don't have resources, and they become emotional because you're emotional, so they take out loans, and they're about to get bankrupt, and they're about to lose their car and lose everything. And he's like, things like taking the kids out of Colorado because they're not safe, that's gonna be $100,000 in legal fees that we don't have the money for, and it's not gonna work, so just drop it.
Oh, I see.
He's like, don't even talk to mom and dad about it, because they're gonna wanna pull out a loan. They're gonna wanna try and help you. But I'm telling you, it's never gonna happen no matter how much money you throw at it. There's also another moment in this very jail call, which I didn't wanna interpret, but the brother, he says like, see, and I don't know if I'm dense and I'm dumb or something, but he says something along the lines of like, at some point, we're gonna have to have a conversation where you just tell me yes or no. And it was like so out of nowhere. And I'm like, are you gonna ask him like a series of yes or no questions, right? Like, I don't know what that means. And then Daniel cuts in and he goes, yes. And then they hang up because the 17 minutes are over. Every call is like 17 minutes and 15 seconds.
In the future, we may need to communicate, you and I. I want you to look at me for a second, real close, and say, yes.
Yes.
No. Yes. And no. At some point in the future, we may need to interpret that thing as that.
What do you think?
I think
He's asking if you did it?
Yeah.
So that yes sounds like he's telling him yes, or he sounds like, okay, yes, I agree to that. Yes, we can do that phone call later. Or,
yeah.
So it's like, can be interpreted in both ways. Mm-hmm. But he's still sort of supporting him, or he's just kind of...
From the energy that I get from the brother is he's supporting his brother, but I think it's more so out of support for his parents. I don't think that makes it any better.
Mm-hmm. And what's the parents... You think the parents is in denial?
Yeah. The mom is totally in denial.
Like, my son could never?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but I also think that there are times in the phone calls where I'm like, ooh, like these are just, like I can see why he has these anger issues.
Yeah.
Because the way she's like, oh, I didn't mean to upset you. It's like, who cares about upsetting him? His whole life is about to go down like the shitter. Are you like, we can talk as adults.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean, you're too old. You got to get your emotions in check. Like, we can't all tiptoe and be worried about upsetting a grown man who's in jail about to go on trial for murdering his wife.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of red flags in Daniel's story. But even just the way he talks about Christy Lynn the stalker, it's like straight out of a movie. Before his arrest, when he's being interviewed by officers, and these are all the things that are setting off the officers, they reference the stalker as the stalker. They're like, okay, so when did the stalking start? When did the stalker come into play? But Daniel, in the midst of his wife's murder investigation, he keeps correcting the officers. Oh, we call him Kickman. And he's always whispering. Kickman. You call him what? The stalker. We call him Kickman. Okay, why do you guys call him Kickman? Because Christy was gonna kick his ass. Yeah.
Kickman. That's what we call the stalker.
What?
It's a lot. The police just want to know what happened. They're gathering intel, and some of it is just not adding up, and his behavior is really weird. I would imagine any spouse in their right mind in the interrogation room or the interview room would be like, okay, let me break it down. This is the day that it started. This is what we have gathered. If you let me go into the house, or I can tell you we have logs of the stalking, like we just need to find this killer, instead of like, we call him Kickman. But the most interesting thing is, Daniel says that he first found out about the stalking in November. And this is when the police were like, wait, what? Hold on. Because Detective Martinez knows that the stalking started October 2nd.
Yeah.
Why would you not know for an entire month? The officer asks, why do you think the month gap before she told you?
I'm sure she has mentioned to you that she and I are going through a rough patch, kind of on the rocks. So probably didn't seem that pressing until it was.
So he's explaining that Christine didn't tell him about the stalking until a picture of him was sent to her. So now she's like, okay, well, your life is kind of on the line and like maybe your safety's at risk. So let me explain what's been going on for the past month. There were mentions, obviously, that Daniel and Christelle were not in the best part of their relationship, which a lot of parents raising 3 kids would say they've probably seen better days. But to not know that your wife is being stalked for an entire month, you have to be probably on not even speaking terms in order for this to happen. Even if she didn't think it was that serious for a month, she would have brought it up as like oh my God, something so weird happened today. How bad exactly was their relationship?
Right.
Christelle's parents are brought in hours after her murder to give formal interviews. They were all really close. Christelle and her dad would fix classic cars together, so they had this hobby that even as they grew up, she was always just in his garage. They have this like retro diner set up in one corner of his garage, and it just looks like a dream auto shop. She would sit down while they would take a break, and he explains that she did mention that she was being stalked by the ex-boyfriend from high school. And both Christelle's parents, they remember Anthony back from when they were dating. And they say he was always very friendly, very courteous, always had good manners. I mean, yeah, like it was in high school. Okay, people who knew them say their breakup was very high school. It wasn't even petty. They both worked at JCPenney. The whole breakup was because Christelle was very much into academia. Like she had a strong vision for her outlook in life. Like she wanted to pursue engineering in college. She wanted to go that route. Meanwhile, Anthony didn't really know if he even wanted to go to college. He was still figuring things out. So the way that Anthony even spoke about Christelle after they broke up, people said that Anthony spoke about her like she was his great first love. Naturally, he did reach out a few times over Facebook asking how she is. Nothing weird, but maybe he's upset that she never made any sort of advancement towards him, never wanted to see him, or maybe something big happened in his life and now he's turning on Christelle. But how can somebody go from being this kind-hearted, genuine person to a stalker? Or like maybe Christelle's parents didn't really know him. Christelle's mom is a bit more open with the detectives. She's distraught, she's holding it together, and she's telling the investigators everything they need.
Her life was hell these last months and last year. Her husband and her were not on good terms. He was in complete denial. She'd tell me how he was.
Did she ever give you insight on what kind of led her to feel like her marriage was over, or?
Dan is explosive, but I've never seen him, hurt her. He would hurt the kids, but, some people think the corporal punishment is okay.
Alright guys, I'm gonna stop it there. I think that was quite a bit. If you guys want to see the full video, just go to Rotten Mangoes and you can check it out there. But I'm gonna stop right here. This was a very interesting video. A lot of twists and turns. But yeah. Thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a nice day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and support my channel. Peace.